Good morning, afternoon, evening, night, whatever time of day you're viewing this. Welcome to another, as promised, Rome Total War 2 battle replay. We've got another siege for you, brought to you by Big Bad Chad and my friends. And I've gained a friend, as you can see. There are 4 players in this game, not 3. Initially, our 4th player was a bit hesitant to join in, but after watching the others, he thought he'd give it a go. This is, in fact, his 2nd battle. Previous to this, there was another 2-on-2 siege battle where myself and fearless party leader Zero Recall attempted another siege, and I managed to disastrously fail with my siege equipment. I wanted to show you the replay of that one because it was very fun in the end. There's a lot of silliness that occurs, and it was a good time all round. Big points from that game were at the beginning of the battle, Lofty Tiberius Rex had succeeded in putting down some traps and then deployed his chariots on them, so as soon as the battle began, half of his chariots died and they nearly routed immediately. After that, some slaves got a rear charge on some heroes of Sparta and killed a couple of them. That was heroic. And then later on, heroes of Sparta reenacted the Normandy D-Day, charging into 3 units of Kushite royal archers and getting mown down before being finished off, and I kid you not, by Zero Recall's brave artillery crew, while my royal archers legged it for fear of being slaughtered. So it was very fun. I wish I could have brought it to you, but I, for some reason, didn't save the replay. Heat of the moment, I might have been terminally embarrassed about my terrible use of siege equipment again. On to this battle, though. It is myself as Kush in the yellow, with fearless party leader Zero Recall, and once again repping Macedon. Against us, we have Lofty Tiberius Rex as Rome. Big fan of the OG Imperiators, is Lofty. And I can't blame him, they're a very good faction. And then we have Decennial over here as the Seleucids. Now, last time he was playing as Sparta and brought a lot of a very small but very elite force of Spartans, very 300. This time, as you can see, he's tried to maximise on the small but elite principle, and he has brought not 1, not 2, but 3 units of elephants. 2 war elephants, 1 armoured. They have all got, wow, that is a triple gold unit of Indian armoured elephants. That's terrifying. I didn't realise that at the time. They are quite prohibitively costed, but he is going with the elite is all you need approach. He's also brought some heavy onagers, as has Lofty here. Now, I didn't see this ram from the walls. I thought we were just going to see some elephants coming towards the gate to knock them down, but there is this heavy ram here with a legionary cohort, 2 units of Hastati, some equites, some auxiliary infantry, some more equites. So a little bit of cavalry there for Rome, but mostly infantry. A good mix of infantry. You know, he's got some elite, he's got some light Hastati, he's got the legionary cohorts, and they're very heavy. And over here, I think we have, the Praetorian Guard, along with Silver Shield Swordsman for Decennial's general. So this is their army. We are playing with about 11,000, I think it's 11,700 gold for the, or points, or whatever you want to call it, currency for the attackers, and it's about 1050 for the defenders. So the elephants here have really soaked up a lot of Decennial's money. It's a big commitment, but will it pay off? It's a bold commitment, it's big and brave. Over on this side is a slightly smaller version of the siege, represented by our reenactors here, the Triarii, and another unit of Praetorian Guard. But because the defenders get to deploy second, essentially, or get to deploy with seeing the attackers' deployment, we knew they were here. We might have... it might look like we've overly represented this defence, but I don't think so. I mean, I didn't realise there were these 2 units down there, so maybe we have, actually. There's 2 units of Hoplites. Zero Recall, very big fan of the hoplites. Take the Thorax Swordsman, very good for the wall. We discussed some more tactics after our last battle about what was good on a wall and what wasn't, and this was not just myself and Zero Recall, it was all of us as a group in the discard call, what you did right, what we did wrong. We also have some traps lying around, and I'll show you where they are in a moment. But yes, so on this side we've got the hoplites, I've got some armoured Shotel warriors, and my general, who's actually Royal Kushite archers. I thought that would be more useful in a siege defence than a unit of cavalry. I do have 2 units of cavalry. They are the cheapest cavalry that I could buy, and they're just there to harass and cause problems. Zero Recall has his companion cavalry general there. I don't know if he forgot to deploy him, but he's kind of equidistant between both sides, so it's, wherever he's needed to be. And then you can see the bulk of our forces is deployed over here. We've got slingers on the wall, more slingers on the wall. I've got Nubian bowmen, archers, Royal Kushite archers, some pikes. I brought some pikes today. I thought I'd try, a traditionally good unit. Some mercenary creature archers here. The slingers, well, I guess if you want to spend more money on good infantry, then taking slingers is a good idea. He's still got some missile units on the wall. Same reason I took slaves in previous battles. They're sort of cheap. We've got lots of thorax units down here, Royal Peltasts. I'm a big fan of them. I'm not sure how good they are, but I'm a big fan. Thorax pikemen, so a very solid left flank there. Here I've got some disciples of Apidamak, and I'm going to apologise if I pronounced that wrong. But I think, or is it a? No, I think Apidamak. Then some armoured Shotel warriors, more armoured Shotel warriors there. Yeah, so I'm actually looking a little light units wise, but that's because I think I put a lot of points in. Well, the disciples of Apidamak, I should never use this unit, Apidamak, are quite expensive for what they are, but I've taken them because they have both Frenzy and Headhunt, so they can amp their damage to obscene levels. It's sort of unsporting, but they're instead of shock cavalry, is my theory here, and we can't put shock cavalry on the wall, so shock infantry are better. Anyway, let's get the battle underway. So, again, this was the last battle we played on our afternoon of Rome Total War, so it's our most experienced battle. And the attack is just holding back. They've agreed to batter down the walls. We're all on the same Discord call, so there's not much like strategy or counter strategy. Obviously we can do the painting thing between allies, but we just generally chat. There's a lot of it's more trash talking in the chat, if I'm honest. And they're very coordinated with their barrages. They had chosen which walls to burst down and when. Over here, I'd sort of planned for this one to get knocked down, so there are actually some spike traps in here. We've got the barricades there just to delay them. I don't know how good the barricades are, but, I'm moving these pikes over, seeing that that's going to be broken down, ignoring the fact there are 2 fantastically strong, 2 adequately strong hoplite formations there to defend it. Why don't I defend this gate from this ram? Well, remember, I didn't remember the ram was there. I've also got these spikes here, and behind them I've got more spiked pits. So it's all part of a strategy, really. Over on this side, we've just got the siege towers approaching the wall. Very token. And my cavalry are moving around, deciding that we don't need to be on that side. Later on, that flank behind us now, on the east side of the map, Lofty did say that it was perhaps not the best idea. But, it's not a terrible idea to attack in 2 places, but it was just very unsupported. And because Decennial had such a small force, centralising the units may have been better in this scenario. So there you go, the wall's already down. It only took like 2 minutes. This one's looking pretty patchy, and we've almost got a Praetorian Guard siege tower at the walls. That's, there we go, there it falls. That's not looking, it's looking very efficient from the attackers here. And they're holding back, they're staying out of archer range. I've tried to set this on fire, but I give up in the end. because it's a heavy ram, and I'm not going to set it on fire with those units of archers. So I just started killing the legionary cohort instead. And now my cavalry just kind of stand out in front, which confused confused Lofty to begin with. He did point it out to me in case I'd made an error, and I said, no, this was intentional. And it was, in fact, intentional. Over here, if we just have a quick look, we have made it onto the walls. Legionaries fighting thorax swordsmen and armoured showtail warriors against Triarii. There's Praetorians there. It doesn't look like it's going to be a good matchup for the Romans. The armoured showtail warriors are more than up for the Triarii. The hoplites can hold the other side until the armoured showtails get there. But we'll keep an eye on it just in case. Over here, the Praetorian Guard are fighting off against other armoured showtail warriors. Praetorian Guard, creme de la creme of Rome, remember. But we discussed it later. The Romans are very tanky. Their damage output is just not as high as other factions' elite units. So that did cause problems there. The armoured showtails nearly as tanky as the Praetorian Guard. Very nearly as tanky. And with the higher attack, they're able to break through. So over here, the wall is being battered again. I've had to move my archers round, so they're less efficient. Was some problems getting through the gate until I told... as you can see here, unfortunately, the legionary cohort tries to use the ram, but they're not able to push that through the gate. Here they have to drop the ram first, so I did inform Lofty of that. Over here, quietly low-key MVPs for this battle. My cavalry just kind of run around. And they cause a lot of problems. I leg it from these elephants for obvious reasons. We've all seen the Battle of Pelennor Fields. I did not want to reenact Rohan's charge into the Mamluks. Over here, the legionary cohort still hasn't put the ram down. I swear I tell Lofty as soon as he mentions it in chat, because it's just not very game not to. Over on those walls, the armoured showtails doing their job, man, chewing through the Praetorian Guard. There you go. Now he's still using the ram. He's going to put it down. I swear he puts it down. Over here, I've just told these guys to move, and then they get caught by the Roman general. But they don't seem to be doing too badly. So I leave them there. And then I race these guys along the front of the battle line, ignoring the elephants, as per the Pelennor Field guidance. Over here, Triarii suffering heavily against those armoured showtail warriors. And the Praetorian Guard making a number out of thorax swordsmen, but the thorax swords can hold. Cretan archers gone in to help, maybe unwisely, but I don't think it matters too much. So yeah, I'm trying to bring these guys round. I ignore the swordsman, and I try to slam into the general over here, just to see if I can get an assassination. While, on the other side, the elephants march to war. The hoplites... Oh! So many knocked down, so many didn't get back up. Look at that! Chewing through. This is the golden elephants. They are stampeding. So that unit of hoplites is shattered. I'm so glad I caught that on camera. That was brutal. Just trampled into the dirt. And yeah, rightly so, mates. You should be fleeing. That's horrifying. And over here, we've got some people running over the walls. The equites setting off the traps, but only losing 2. My cavalry now broken over there in the background. It happened very quickly. Sorry we missed it. I've moved here to secure the gates because I thought the legionary cohort would be coming through, but no, they ran after my cavalry. There's here a recall bringing up some pikemen. Two units of thorax pikemen. Yes, that may well hold the elephants at bay for a while. Over here on the wall, the Praetorian Guard just not having a good day up there. These slingers having been caught by the equites, having a field day there, but the pike formation not quite set up in time, but the charge was not effective. They didn't lose that many people, thankfully. Whereas the equites are they're still okay. More elephants pouring in there. These elephants having a field day, up to 160 kills already. Now you can see here, during our day in Rome, somebody learned how to use the siege towers properly, so we now know for future reference. He sent this cohort, a legionary cohort, in to reinforce the Praetorians. Now, I don't know if that was a good idea, because we already know that Praetorian Guard, the best Roman unit, loses to the armoured Shotel warriors. So sending in another less good unit of Roman infantry might not have been the best choice there, but Roman infantry is solid, so perhaps it's not so bad. I mean, apart from that on the walls, we've got some slingers, and that's it. We've got a unit of Royal Peltas coming to reinforce. These elephants, the Roman equitae now fleeing. We've got my pike come there to fight off the elephants. It's not going too well, but you know, they are elephants in fairness to my pike. And I have been charged in the back. I didn't notice this at the time, by auxiliary infantry. Nice light spear unit, really good to bring, just in case of cavalry. Over here the Indian war elephants are on a rampage. I have brought my archers over. Where are they? Oh, I thought I had. I haven't yet. Sugar. So my plan was to fire flaming arrows at those elephants until they ran around and panicked. Oh, there you go. There's some archers fire. But the Indian war elephants here have broken my pikes, absolutely mashing them. This unit of pikemen is just... Oh, that's thorax swordsman going into the gladiator spearmen there. That should be an easy fight for the thorax swordsman. But the phalanx has just been tossed around by these elephants. They've done such a number. Over on the far side of the field, we can see there's now only one Roman unit left, the Praetorian Guard, who did not finish the thorax swordsman and are being flanked over there. We'll have a look sooner, but this is where the action is, so we're staying here. We've got unit of disciples going on the wall, disciples of Epidemic, going up on the wall to reinforce my Shotels, who are 145 to 109, sort of doing okay considering they're exhausted, or tired at least. Now this, I didn't realise during the fight how desperate this was getting in the middle. I felt that Zero Recall was doing a champion job, but it turns out these Indian armoured elephants are horrendously powerful. They have wiped out most of the Macedonian army by themselves. It's like a replay of that scene in the film Alexandria, starring Colin Farrell, where all the Greeks had Irish accents. So we've got Royal Peltas come now, peppering the Indian armoured elephants, and they're actually rampaging, so they're out of control, thankfully. Unfortunately for Decennial, just as his general passes by, we've got elephants rampaging over here as well. A little bit of a tight fight. Armoured Shotel warriors off against Astarte. That's going to be a bit one-sided. But this auxiliary infantry is going to do a number of my archers. Really nice charge in there. I do have some armoured Shotels ready to charge in, but some really great use of the distraction caused by the elephants from Lofty Tiberius ranks. Unfortunately, my archers... Oh no, my archers are not royal archers this time. They're just archers. Save some money to spend on Shotels. Pulling the archers out, leaving the unit that's basically fleeing there to take it. These armoured Shotels, fine against the Hastati. Flank charge on the Auxilia. Really does a number on them. Bit of bow fire, bit of armoured Shotel charge, that's it, they're done. Lofty desperately trying to use his general now, having lost one of the blobs of infantry. He's taking the gate on this side though, which is a good plan. Although they've still got the spears out front that are going to be a problem. His general charging desperately into the back of these Shotel warriors to try to break them, but they're just too tough. They're not going down. Over here, the gladiator spearmen losing a fight to these slingers. They're just having morale issues. Up on the wall, my armoured Shotels are now tiring, and they are losing to the larger numbers of the legionary unit. But those numbers may not last long. We'll see. Having seen their allies slaughtered in the field below them, those Romans waver for a moment, but then they see the Indian armoured elephants coming back in for more. There's still 6 elephants left, 2 in each dude. And I'm throwing those flaming arrows down on the elephants just to try to get them to panic. It's enough to break, or not to break them rather, but to panic them, and then more go down to the bow fire. What a relief. Armored Showtail's now recovered from that brief moment of, oh my god, we're going to become a carpet. And they're back to fighting the Hastati, although they're pulling back here. More Armoured Showtails standing in reserve. Over here, I've switched out my Armoured Showtails, who are exhausted, for some Disciples of Epidemic. And you can see there's a frenzy there. I don't know why they're going the wrong way. That's not so great. Oh! It's because the Romans start coming out the bottom. So, yeah. It's not even like a proper fight, unfortunately. The Legionary cohort just running down. But as you can see, the Roman strength is now spent. The elephants of fire are about to be wiped out. There you go. They're fleeing. They couldn't get past the spears there. Again, I did let them know that I'd got rid of them with infantry before. But yes, that was that siege. Got a bit desperate near the beginning. Would it have been different without the elephants? I thought initially when we played the battle, absolutely. I didn't think the elephants did much. But let's just have a quick look, shall we, at everything that was trampled into the dirt. That's mostly Roman, so hopefully they weren't trampled. Dead elephants here. But look at all of these hoplites that have been trampled in that initial charge. We all saw it. It was ferocious. And then over here, this square area, down here in the bottom right, that is a ferocious area for the elephants because they can do their little wheeling, they can move around, they've got a lot of space to do their trampling attacks, pull out, recharge, and the Decennial really took advantage of that. And there was a lot more dead Macedonians there as well. I mean, you can see like a lot of the elephants fell there too. Macedonian spear infantry doing their job. But here, I didn't cover it, but Decennial's general actually fell after he was... he tried to push through with his Silver Shield unit, and I got my Disciples of Epidemic to charge in with the Frenzy and the Headhunting, and then the remainder of... basically, the remainder of Zero Recall's army squashed them in this tight little area, and they had nowhere to go, so it was just a grind to wipe them out. More hoplites here, coming over from the other side. So yeah, this flank, possibly not the best idea. We all agreed later. I mean, Lofty was the first to bring it up, but I think it was worth trying. I didn't move my Armoured Showtails, whereas Zero Recall definitely repositioned. Much better tactical awareness, much better focus. Good little bit of traps here, but I believe those were set off by our own units. So yeah, fun battle, quite tense. And I would say the elephants actually did an awful lot of work. We do know, if we go to the end replay screen, we do know that the elephants, if I can select them in a moment, killed 438 individual units. That's that. Was it worth the golding? Was it worth being 20% of the force? Who knows? Like, he managed to kill with his 272. Dinky Pie is his name on Rome. My apologies. Not Decennial. He actually killed more than his Roman counterpart with the elephants. So possibly not such a bold and hubris-filled decision as first thought. But very well done to both sides. We were defending, myself and Zero Recall, after Lofty Tiberius Rex said it was much harder to attack and we should get a go at it, and I would agree with that. But I had a great time. It was good fun. Very much more organised, despite the unusual, unconventional army picking. Very organised attack from the Seleucids and the Romans. Nice use of artillery. Yeah, it was just... and the elephants, as we said, were not such a bad idea. It's just... it was very difficult. The fight on the walls didn't go the way the Romans wanted, and the fight in the streets, the elephants eventually ran out of steam. So there we have it. Another fun little Rome replay from myself, Zero Recall, Lofty Tiberius Rex, and special guest star Dinky Pie. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, give the video a like. If you've got something to say, give us a comment. And if you want to see more, subscribe. Good morning, afternoon, evening, night, whatever time of day you watch this, and I will see you soon.